Hey friends, it's Judy Klock, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Middletown, Virginia. And I'm recording tonight's tutorial because Middletown is having their parade. It's the 4th of July and they're having their parade this afternoon. So I want to be able to go to the parade and the kind of community little festival that they have going on. And I didn't want to have to worry about rushing home to get this video done. So happy 4th of July, everyone. And we're going to kick off on this 4th of July with our Christmas in July series this month. And I'm going to be coming to you every week with a new tutorial featuring some of our online exclusive products that just dropped yesterday. And we'll be featuring them and showing you how to get ready for the upcoming winter and holiday season. So without any further chit chat on my part, let me move my screens. And first up this is my personal favorite. My cameras and everything seems to be off today. My personal favorite. This is the Sophisticated Sled bundle, and it comes with the stamp set and the matching dies. Okay, and then this is what the dies will cut. So you have dies that will cut out the stamped image of the sled, the skates, the like holly mistletoe swag, and then the wreath, and then the bird. And then you've got extra pieces that you can layer. So you've got the sled runner and the sled boards, some greenery, and then the ice skate has 3 pieces that then you can layer up. And I did them in different colors here, so you can see you've got the boot, the laces, and the blade, and those 3 parts can all come together to make a skate. So we're going to be using all of these in our second card. And our first card, of course, is just going to be stamps, inks, and paper. We used a little bit of, I did color these in with some of our blends just because I wanted to get a little bit of a different color there. And then we've got oh my gosh, Wink of Stella. I'm losing my mind today. And just a little bit of some other stuff in there to kind of just jazz it up a little bit. Then we're going to go in here with a fun fold. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting card. So what I did here is I kind of sliced off like 1 3/4 inches from the front and used that to create like a flap for like a gatefold. So we've got this great little fun fold here. And this paper is also a new online exclusive. It's from a different bundle, but I liked the paper so much, and you'll see why in a second. It is called Iconic Celebrations. It is 6x6 paper, and it includes Cajun Craze, Cherry Cobbler, Misty Moonlight, Moody Mauve, Mossy Meadow, and Pecan Pie. So here we've got, this is the Iconic Celebrations paper, and I really think this is something that you could use really from January through December. So you've got, the colors here. Here's the trees, Mossy Meadow, some greenery, candy canes. Then you've got hearts and champagne glasses. So New Year's, Valentine's, anniversary. Here we've got the Cajun Craze acorn. So we're talking fall, the fall colors there. Again, this is like mistletoe berries and just a Christmassy plaid. Again, fall leaves, just a green stripe. Again, Christmas, fall, really any time of year, spring, any time of year. Birthday candles on this side. Fireworks, again, perfect for New Year's or for today, for the 4th of July. So you can see this paper is going to get you through an entire year. Snowflakes and more trees. Again, snowflakes could just be winter, not necessarily Christmas. Again, a great little plaid here for, fall, just general pumpkins. Again, stars, the dove, like the dove with the piece. So again, Christmassy, more trees. Again, just all like a blue and green stripe, some stars, and just some like dots and stuff. So again, it's called Iconic Celebrations. You get 48 sheets. And I really think that this is a great pack that if you're only going to buy one designer series paper this year, this Iconic Celebrations pack is the pack to get, because it will take you from January through December with all sorts of celebrations involved. All right, let's look. We looked at our cards. So let's go ahead and just jump in. Our first card, again, is just sort of a stamps, ink, and paper card. So this is something that anyone can do. And you know what? I did forget to bring over one of my ink pads. You know, I always forget to get something. It seems like I can never just get everything that I need at the same time. Oh, it is over there. It's missing out of my slot. Okay, so it's over here somewhere. I don't know where. It's on this mess of a desk somewhere over here. It's supposed to be here. I don't see it. All right, well, we're going to have to maybe go without it because it's should be over here. I literally can't see it. No biggie. We'll go with black. Oh, here they are. What do you know? Found them. Like one of those days. This is why I wanted to come to you early so I wouldn't be flustered. Oh, my word. So for this card, our card base, it's 8.5 by 5.5. And again, I will have these measurements in the corresponding blog post, so you don't need to worry about writing them all down now. It is scored at 4.25. We have here a piece of our basic white for the inside. This is 4 by 5.25. These are all standard layers. Piece of Night of Navy. This is 4 by 5.25. And then we have here a piece of that iconic Celebrations DSP, and I chose the snowflakes. And this is 3 by 4.25, right? 3 by 4.25. And then we've got a little piece of basic white that's going to be for our focal image. And this is 2.25 by 3.5. Okay. So those are our pieces that we're going to work with. Now, for our card, I did have some items stamped on the inside. Okay, so we're going to stamp. And again, I should have had all of this ready. I tried to get everything ready, and somehow I managed to not be all ready. Okay, so here we go. We're going to stamp on the inside. And I think I used or Misty Moonlight for the inside. So I'm going to stamp, I hope your days are filled with fun and laughter. And then we're going to stamp some of these snowflakes. It's a triple snowflake stamp. So you're going to get all 3 at all times. And so we're just going to stamp them. And I'm just kind of rotate the stamp so I can get the different snowflakes, different sizes. And there we go. We've got our snowflakes there. And you could add as many or as few snowflakes as you want. Now I also have our Night of Navy, because on my sample card, this is the card, I always do a sample card before class. I didn't put anything around this blue, and I thought it looked a little plain. So I wanted to kind of jazz it up a little bit. So I'm going to take that triple snowflake, and I'm just going to stamp a border, like an outline border in the same color in our Night of Navy. And again, I'm just going to kind of alternate the stamp, and I'm just kind of going to go all the way around. Some of it's going to be covered, so don't worry about going in the middle. I just really want to get it towards the edge of our cardstock. This is Night of Navy cardstock, and I'm using our Night of Navy ink, and I'm just going to stamp all around our edges just to add just a little bit more interest. Blue was looking kind of boring, so I wanted to add just a little bit more pizzazz. You always got to have pizzazz. Okay, so now that we've got that, I think that will look much better. And if we don't like the way it looks, then we'll just flip it over. But see, now if you add that, I think it's subtle enough. It kind of ties in with the snowflakes from our designer series paper, but because it's tone on tone, it's not very glaring. So I think we'll be okay. So the last thing we want to stamp is we want to stamp our skates. And again, I am just not prepared today. I apologize. Oh my goodness. I always try to have everything all ready, but yeah, it's good. This way you can see that even the demonstrators sometimes get flustered. So I just put our skates on the block, and then I am just going to stamp them so they are in the center of our piece of paper. Okay. Now I'm going to do a little coloring because I don't know about you, but growing up, my skates had the silver, blades, and then the bottom pieces, like the heel and piece, was black. So I'm just going to color this just a little bit. I'm using our this is smoky slate, dark smoky slate, Stampin' Blend, and I have got to stop saying I know better, but sometimes you just get flustered, and I shouldn't. So we have this, okay. And this doesn't, I love these Stampin' Blends because the alcohol markers, they're just so responsive and you get a very good color with just a little bit of pressure. All right, so now I'm going to come in and I'm going to use our Stampin' Write marker in basic black. You could also use the Stampin' Blends if you want, if you have the basic black Stampin' Blends. I just happen to grab this and it's fine. And I'm just going to kind of make that sole and that heel of my skates a little bit darker. Okay, like I said, growing up, my skates had the silver blades and the black heel and black sole. So I'm just going to have this look like the skates of my youth. Many, 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 many moons ago. All right, here we go. And then after we're done, I'll go ahead and add some Wink of Stella. All right, let's go ahead and assemble our card. So we've got our inside piece, and we're going to just add a little Stampin' Seal. I prefer the Stampin' Seal Plus, just my own personal preference if anybody's wondering. I like it better than Stampin' Seal. I find that it just comes out easier for me. All right, so there we go. Now we're going to add our Night of Navy piece. There we go. If you're watching, well, obviously everybody's watching on replay today because this is videotaped. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I just like to see, how far and wide we're going with our tutorials. And if you like this, please share this tutorial with a friend. Send them the link so they can watch it. I've got lots of great tutorials on my YouTube channel. At least I think they're great, but I could be biased. But I love when people share my tutorials with their friends. That's the highest compliment you can give a creator, is to share their works. And I just want to let you know also that yesterday also started bonus days. So for every $50 you spend during July, you can earn a $5 coupon to use on a future purchase in August. And there is no limit to the number of coupons you can earn. So if you've got a big wish list or you want to get some of these new great online exclusives, you can buy them now and use them to use the coupons for next month. So we had 2 new kits that dropped yesterday. We've got lots of great online exclusives that dropped. For the next 3 weeks, I will be today and then 2 additional weeks. I am featuring 3 of our new online exclusives and showing you how to use them to create Christmas, winter type greetings. And then the last week, I'm using an old favorite, Sparkling Snowflake, just because I like it. And I want to make sure that we give, time to some of our old friends too. It's always good to have the shiny new friends, but sometimes we want to make sure we still play with our old friends because they're still pretty. Okay. And I'm just kind of tying this is the iridescent striped ribbon. Love this ribbon. Makes great bows. Very pretty, very easy to work with. So I want to make sure that I add my bow, and I'm going to just kind of trim my ends, and we'll add this on with a dimensional. Okay, and I'm sorry, not a dimensional. Oh my goodness, listen to me. With a glue dot, because that's how we add bows. Glue dots really work well for bows. Liquid glue, not so much. If you want to add bows and ribbons and twine and stuff to your cards, then really the best way to go is a glue dot. Then let's go ahead. Let's add some Wink of Stella. I know I had it in here. Oh, it's right here. Now, cautionary tale. When you are using Wink of Stella and you want to get it to start, have a piece of scrap paper around that you can sort of squeeze out. Here's a piece of scrap cardstock. Okay, see how that big blob came out? You didn't want to have that on your card. So that's why I always say do it on over a piece of scrap paper so that you can get that blob. Ooh, and it's still blopping. Well, I tried to not have it blop, but it blopped. Anyway, this one might be on its last legs. Might be time for a new Wink of Stella. All right, so we're just going to let that kind of dry now because I do have so much on there. Normally I don't get quite that much, but that was our card. So kind of easy. We just use stamps, inks, and paper. And I think this Wink of Stella is no bueno. We're going to get rid of that one. Time for that one to go. And let's go ahead and work on this card. Now I did pre-cut many of the pieces just because there was so much to cut. So we have here a piece of our Mossy Meadow. This is 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored it at 4.25, but I want to take one side. I'm going to do that right now, and I'm going to just slice off like 1.75 inches. Okay, this is going to become our flap holder. Okay, so we have that. Then we have, okay, so then we've got here, these are our die cut pieces. So I die cut two of those greenery pieces. And before I die cut them, I did put them on, back them with an adhesive sheet, because when you have something this intricate, it just makes it so much easier to use that adhesive sheet to have them stick to your card. I've got a couple of scraps here for our sentiment. We've got our sled, the runners. Again, I've backed that with an adhesive sheet. We've got our ice skates. We've got our laces, again, backed them with an adhesive sheet. Our blades, backed with an adhesive sheet. Any of these small pieces or intricate pieces, it's so much easier if you use the adhesive sheets. Then I've got a piece of our pecan pie. We're going to use that for our sled. This is the sled die. And we're going to cut out that. And then we're going to do a little bit of distress it with a blending brush and some pecan pie ink. So I've got, again, those iconic celebrations. Now, these were 2 strips. They were each 1.25 inches, I think. 1.5 inches by 4. 1.5 inches by 4.25. So after I cut them down into 1.5 by 2 3/4 and 1.5 by 1.5. So these are the opposites of these. I actually had like 4 pieces. It doesn't matter. But anyway, we're going to just kind of layer these up and alternate them on the front of our card. This is for our card front. This is 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. This is, I can't even remember now, 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And then for the inside, we've got 5 1/4 by 4, and then 3 3/4 by 5. So those are just all of our pieces. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of moving parts for this card. So let's start with our inside. Okay, well, we'll do our stamping last because we're only going to stamp a little sentiment on that. So I'm going to put those off to the side for now. I am going to layer up our inside, at least the basic white, on our pecan pie, because we need to get it ready to add our flap for our gatefold. Okay, so I've just got that back there, and I'm just going to layer these up. Okay, now I'm just going to put this inside for a minute. I want to decide where I want this to fall. So I want this to fall kind of midway through this flap. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to fold that over. So now I know. So I'm going to adhere this part to the back of my pecan pie. All right. Just going to kind of do it. I'm going to eyeball it, just kind of put it in the middle. All right. Now we're ready to go. Now we're ready to add this to the inside of our card. And like I said, I know I threw a lot of measurements out there. Don't worry, they will all be in my blog. So they will all be available for you to copy if you want to make this card. All right, so now we've got this. Now we're going to take this piece of designer series paper and layer this up here. So again, I mean, other than having a lot of parts, the card itself, oh my goodness, is fairly easy. This is like way off. What's going on with this? Sometimes it kind of gets off track. Make sure you put the trees going the right way. Raise your hand if you've ever put designer series paper on going in the wrong direction, or if you've ever cut a one-way design in the wrong direction. Yes, I think we have all done that. Then we've got our second piece of pecan pie. That is going to sit on like that green flap. So now we've got our pieces of our designer series paper. And before I adhere them, I'm just going to kind of place them where I think I want them. And they're all going to just kind of really butt up against each other. So okay, that's why I kind of did this. So I would know kind of where I wanted them. Kind of just eyeballing it, make sure I have kind of the same amount of pecan pie showing around each edge. Okay, and when you think you've sort of got them where you want them, go ahead and just take off that first piece. And I am actually going to put these on with some liquid glue because that gives me just a little bit more time if I have to move pieces. Okay, it also usually I make a big mess with liquid glue, but we're gonna live on the edge, folks, and use glue live and see what happens. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's our first piece. Go here, we'll get this second piece on. Okay, just gonna push that out of the way. Okay, and again, just have them just abut one another right up. Okay. All right. I'll go with this one. But these colors just seem to work. So I was happy with how it all turned out. I was like, this is good. All right. I got a little bit of a gap between some of my papers, but that will be, oh shoot. I just put this on the wrong side. Well, let me quickly cut another piece. I wasn't paying attention, and that's what happens when you don't pay attention. You put glue on the wrong side, and I don't even know where I put the paper now. It's amazing how things disappear and reappear in your craft room. It's just a marvel to behold. Okay, here we go. Got a little piece right here. There we go. Oh, that's the wrong one. I need a pumpkin one. Oh, I think I see it. There we go. All right. That's the piece I need. That's the piece I was missing. Pardon me while I quickly cut a 1.5 by 1.5 inch square. Ay vey. best laid plans, right? That's okay. I was just talking about, raise your hand if you've ever used the wrong side of the paper. Nothing like a real life example. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, these are not quite even, but we'll live. No, that's going to bother me. Let's move this one down a little bit and then see if I can move this one down. Oh, this is just going to be a mess, folks. All right, let me see. Can I get this one up? No, we're just going to leave it. We're just going to leave it. It's just beyond taupe at this point. Just beyond taupe. Okay. Hopefully we can cover most of it with our sled. Let's go ahead. We've got our sled runner here. So let's go ahead and remove our backing, our adhesive backing, and then we can go ahead and add our runner. Looks like I had lots of different pieces of adhesive on there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Okay. So we've got our sled runner. Now we do need to cut our sled. So let's cut our sled body. We've got our mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss. I've got just a scrap of pecan pie, and I honestly didn't measure it. I cut it to fit the die. So I know that's probably cheating, but sometimes I'll just take the die out and measure it against the scraps I have and figure that scrap will do. All right. There we go. Okay. Here we go. Look at this. Great. It puts the wood look designs in it. Okay. Now let's put this off to the side. Now this one was a bigger piece, so I didn't worry about putting adhesive strips on it because I'm like, oh, it's big enough. Okay. We've got some things that we got to poke out though. Okay. Okay. This is why this is a good tool to have to punch out all of these little pieces. See, these ones in the middle don't really, here we go. I can just get it started. It will usually come out. Sometimes I run these through like twice just to make sure that they are cut all the way through and they come out fairly easily, because sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Like this is not coming out easily, but come on, there we go. See, sometimes it just takes a little patience. Okay. Oh my goodness, that piece is still not coming out. See, I should have run it through twice. That's okay. There we go. And then this piece is problematic. This piece does not want to come out. This piece was just going to be a problem. Okay, there we go. I think we got it. Okay, so now we're ready to, let's add some color to this. I'm just going to pull in a piece of scrap paper because I'm going to take a blending brush and I'm just going to lightly kind of just add some color to this to kind of bring out some of those like wood grain lines. So that just kind of deepens it and just kind of makes it look a little bit worn, used, loved, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but that's a great way to just kind of distress or age the elements. Okay, let's go and put our sled together. All right, so I'm going to add some liquid glue. I'm going to actually use my silicone. Oh, I didn't take that piece out. Oh dear. There we go. This one came a little loose on that side. So it's going to add like a little bit of dots because as you know, with liquid glue, a little bit really does go a very long way. So it does kind of move out and about. So I'm just going to kind of put just sort of enough just to kind of hold it on our card. And that's why we used our silicone mat. All right, so now this goes down here, these side pieces, and here, there. Okay, I'm just going to kind of hold this down just for not long, just a couple of seconds. And then we've got our steering piece. Who loved their flexible flyers sled when they were younger? I did. We had a great hill not too far from the house, about a block or two. It was at Isaac E. Young Middle School, or they called it junior high. And I lost my pick tool again. Here it is. There's some little holes in here that I forgot to take out. And I loved going down there in the winter when it would snow. All the kids from the neighborhood would, obviously suit up and walk down. And at Isaac, we thought it was like such a big hill. I'm sure looking back, it probably wasn't that big, but we thought it was like the big hill. And we loved going there to go sledding. Good old New Rochelle, New York. Okay. So now we've got those on there. We're going to go ahead and add our greenery. All right. I'm going to, again, remove our adhesive backing. Oops. And do this gently because you've got all of these branches. Okay. And then we're just going to stick like just kind of in the middle, but not in the middle, a little bit. Okay, so we're going to put one that way. Okay, we're going to take off our second one. Okay, so this was just an intricate card. There's a lot of pieces that go on, and then we're just going to kind of layer that one over it a little bit differently. Okay. So now we've got our greenery that's coming down over our sled. Okay, now let's work on our skates. So now we've got our two skates. I'm going to add our blades and our heels and soles. Okay, and again, it just helps to have this adhesive sheet on there. And you'll notice that when I take it off, that black piece that was in the middle, that came right out. All right, and then we're just going to layer this up. Probably not as easy as it looks. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get the other one on. Like I said, unfortunately, I didn't have it in the camera, but you see that black piece that's stuck there? When we take off the adhesive backing, that piece will come right out. So you don't need to spend a lot of time punching out pieces that are stuck, because normally when you rip off the backing, it comes out with the backing. So save yourself some time and aggravation and just pull off the backing and see if all those little stuck pieces don't come out. And then hopefully if they do remain stuck, you won't have that many. Okay, so there we've got our blades on. Now, I don't know what happened to my other. Oh my goodness. Don't even tell me that I've lost my other. This is the problem. Sometimes when you pre-cut these pieces, you lose them. Well, we'll go ahead and do this. I can always add it after. All right. So I'm going to take off the adhesive backing, right? Take off the adhesive backing. There we go. Okay. And then this goes on here. You'll see this kind of like little bumps on the front of the skate where these go. You just kind of put that up there. All right, so now we've got one. I would have the other one, except I don't know where it went to. It was right here. It literally was right here. I had both of them here, and one has now fallen. So I will cut another one after we're done and put it on. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and get our skates on. Okay, we're going to put our, oh, I wanted to do, before we do that, we're going to take some of our twine and we're going to tie it in a bow. Remember when you used to tie your skates together and sling them over your shoulders and carry them? We're going to do that. So it's a little bit too long. There we go. Sometimes I get a little carried away. Tie that. Okay. This is an old pack of Baker's twine, but we have the Essentials pack, and the white is in that pack. I'm just using some that I had in my stash. It's all the same stuff. It's just, mine's just on a different spool, but it's the same exact one that's in our Essentials pack. So no need. Okay, I keep pulling the wrong end. I wanted to make the other loop smaller. Okay, well, seeing as I just screwed that up beyond repair, we will just fix this. Okay. Oh my goodness. There we go. I think, hopefully. All right, I'm going to trim this because this is as good as it's going to get. All right. Now, I want to adhere this to the back of one of my skates. I'm going to put on some glue. There we go. I'm going to have that. So then this, I want to make sure I place this on I want my skates, my string, my twine, to kind of be right here at the center of my greenery. So I'm going to put my one skate there. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with the second skate, the one that I have to fix. I'm putting this one on top. I got to find my laces, and I'm going to put that one there. That will allow me to put my laces on. And I'm going to come back in with a little glue dot. If I can find my glue dots, which I keep losing. Why do I keep losing everything? Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so I got a little glue dot. I'm going to kind of like just smush it up a little bit because I don't want it to be that big. And figure I want to put it right there and add my string to that. And then we're going to add our sentiment. We have a sentiment somewhere here. Here it is. You know, some days you should really just quit while you're behind, because some days that's just how it goes. So we are going to add, let's decorate the season with happiness. And I'm going to stamp this in our mossy meadow. Okay. And this is just, again, a scrap of white. It's probably about, I don't know, maybe 3/4 of an inch, 5/8 of an inch. Okay, let's decorate the season with happiness. I'm going to add this to our mossy meadow. Oh boy. This is not working out for me today. Ay. I think that this was just not meant to be today, because I am losing everything. All right. I did find my dimensionals though. I think maybe it's a sign that I need to clean my studio, but where's the fun in that? All right, so now we're going to go ahead and add this. Let's decorate the season with happiness. Maybe put it over here, a little bit more down that way. Okay, and now we are ready to add this to our card. So I am going to actually put the adhesive on the flap, right? Because I want to make sure I know where it's going to go. So I'm going to actually just kind of put a little dot, like right there. It's a little tiny dot. Nobody's going to see it. But I know that I need to put the adhesive like below that dot. Okay. So then when I come here, I've got my card. I'm just going to go ahead and put it right there. All right, and let's finish this with a few of our rhinestones, just to add a little bit of sparkle, since we're not going to play with that Winkostella anymore. Let's just add some of these to add just a bit of that holiday season sparkle. Maybe put a big one right here towards the middle. There it goes. All right, and that is our second card. So these were the two cards we made today with the sophisticated Sled bundle. This is a new online exclusive. It's available starting yesterday. And I think you will really like this. This just really screams to me of like winter holidays and just fun and enjoyment. So I hope that you will try this set. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. And don't forget, bonus days are going on. And I would love it if you would choose me as your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. That's it, everybody. Have a great 4th of July holiday, and I will see you next week. Bye.